Hey guys, Kev here, and I have a couple of slip joints to talk about. These were sent in by Real Steel Knives. So we have two, one from Ivan Braganets and one from Polstergeist. Polstergeist. Why can't I say that? Why does that sound weird? Poltergeist, jeez. Poltergeist Bladeworks, I believe it is. Both, I believe, are in Europe somewhere. And yeah, these are both Real Steel knives, and they're both slip joints, believe it or not. I actually asked to check these out in slip joint form. This one comes in a front flipper as well. This one I don't think does. But I wanted to see the slip joint just because it's a little different compared to what we see a lot here in the States, I would say. Usually you have a half stop that goes halfway, right? Where these... the half stop's out here. It's kind of more of a quarter stop. And I think there's a reason for that. I'll talk about it. And they have clips, you know? So I think these are meant to be more of actual EDC or work knives for folks in Europe, where a lot of European countries, if not all, you're not allowed to carry locking knives, or there's a lot of restrictions on locking knives. You can only open them with two hands. It's all this stuff, right? So slip joints are much more popular there, and stuff like this is more popular there. So you'll see knives like the Ventus, which is this one, and the Serenity slip joint like this one, and most recently the Kunwu Geezer, also very similar, has that quarter stop setup. You know, these are marketed more towards the European market. Now, Kunwu has a foothold here in a big Facebook group, and so there's probably a lot of these in the US being sold, but I would guess that these are selling better in Europe than they are in the US. And I have a video on this knife. I really love this knife. Check it out. It posted the other day. So that is the Kunwu Geezer. But let's talk about these. We'll start with the Ventus here. And this one has a really cool feature. Shout out to my chat during my live stream. Somebody pointed this out to me. And had they not done that, I don't think I would have noticed. This has an adjustable spring system, which is really cool. I think it's a patented thing or something with Poltergeist Bladeworks. There's their logo right there. This is in N690. Both of these are. I will admit that I am not the biggest fan of that steel. Now, I haven't given it that much of a chance. I had a couple of MKM knives from Italy in N690 that were horrendous. They rusted super easy, and they just didn't they didn't stay sharp. And so I kind of wrote off N690. If you guys have been watching my videos long enough, you've probably heard me dog on N690. And I guess to be honest, I don't have a ton of experience with it, just those MKM knives, and I've just avoided it really. So maybe it's okay. I don't know. You guys let me know in the comments your experience with N690, what you think about it. We'll take a look at the prices on these knives, because I think that's a factor when you're talking about N690 over M390, right? It's cousin or whatever. Both are bowler steels. And so that will play a factor in what I think price-wise. But overall, I really think this is a very cool design. I mean, I love the blade shape. It just really stands out to me. I love how that fuller or blood groove just kind of dies off here and goes right out to the spine of the blade. It just looks really cool. You have a pretty tall grind and a flat grind here. And I mean, it's razor sharp, and you have a nice thin grind. I mean, this is an excellent cutter. And then you have this titanium handle that I really like. You can see this spring here wraps around. You know, you have the lanyard here, and then it comes down here to the end of the handle, which is really cool. And then, yeah, you have that adjustable system. So right now, I have it set to a stronger setting. And so it has a real loud slap when it pops into place. Now, I will say, no matter how strong you go, you never get a really satisfying close. You always get this kind of dull thud. It's not terrible. It's just not, you know, what I've kind of come to expect from, like, say, a Jack Wolf. This is their newest release, which, by the way, this mini cyborg is phenomenal. And the walk and talk on this is disgusting. So watch when this closes. It just goes down with authority, pops to half stop. This is what I mean by traditional half stop. That's what it looks like. Straight up and down, basically half. And really crisp on that half to home, right? Where this one, it's just a little bit dull on that. And it seems to just be a little louder opening than it is closing, which is interesting. But those are kind of little nitpicky things. It's nice and thin. I like that a lot. It's dead nut center down the middle. And the way you adjust this is by turning this screw. So you take a T8 and you just put it in right here. And you can feel like I don't know if you can hear that too, I guess. But it's like a tactile thing. I think I might have actually unscrewed that one side. So let me see if I can get it set up. There, you hear that click? And then it kind of spins around. So let's try that one. You can't feel what I feel, so it's hard to explain, but you might be able to see the difference in the spring tension. So now it's easier to open. It's still pretty snappy though when it's got the sounds. It kind of retains those nice clacks on the open. And it always has that soft close there. So let's try. There, you can feel it like go and hit another notch. And now it's stronger. Now you're not going to be able to tell because you're not pulling on it, but it goes from that loud one. I don't remember that happening when I was testing it before. So now it's soft again. I remember there being like 3 or 4 different positions. This is just doing 1 or 2. So let's try that. So that got even stronger. So that's like an 7, 8. That's about the same. It does that. And now it's like a 6. That's interesting. Yeah, I don't know if I messed something up here or what, but there's another notch. Then it's going to do that snap sound, probably. Yeah, and then it gets stronger. There, it kind of reset, I think. Yeah, now it's lighter. It's a very interesting system, and it does work well. I think it's just on camera. I don't know exactly what I'm supposed to do, so I'm kind of butchering it. But this is the softest I've felt it. This is like a 4 or 5. So you can get it anywhere from like a 4 to an 8, which is really cool, in my opinion. The clip works nice. Good retention, and the ergonomics are comfortable. You have a little bit of a jimping right here that helps you keep it open as well a little bit. Yeah, very cool on the Ventus. And let's take a look at the price on this one. So this one is $155. And just so you guys know, you can use the code LeftyEDC on either of these, and it'll take $15 off the price. So this one would be $140 with the LeftyEDC code. That's not bad. But that's with N690, you know, 140. I accept that. I mean, you're talking titanium. You know, if you put M390 on it, all of a sudden it's got to be 250, you know. So they definitely took a little off there for the N690. So that's the Ventus, and it's a 3.03 inch blade on that one. The next one is the Serenity, and this is the one that's designed by Ivan Braganitz. And Ivan's a good dude. I've chatted with him quite a bit. I've reviewed a few of his knives. This one's $85, so it would be $70 if you use the code LeftyEDC. So I think $70, G10, N690, that's not bad. And this one's going to be a little bit of a bigger knife compared to the Ventus there. This one was 3.03, and this one's going to be more like 3.6, 3.5, something like that, around 3.5. And this one, I definitely could see. I definitely could see people buying this in Europe to use as like a work knife. It's a pretty substantial knife. It's very comfortable in the hand. It's got a nice grind on it, nice blade shape, very sharp. Man, they do a great job with that, with the factory edge. Whoa, shit. It's got the double nail nick on it, which is pretty cool. You have the Ivan Braganitz kind of bulldog looking logo right there. Real steel on this side and N690 right there. And then you have a nice contoured handle that really fits well in the hand. One thing that bugs me on this, and I think even this one, yeah, there's no reversible clip. You would think on a slip joint, you would just give a reversible clip. Then again, it is a slip joint, so you don't really need to worry about which way you carry it, right? You could carry this in your left pocket. It's not going to open on you. So I kind of see that. This one does not have an adjustable spring. It is probably a 5, something like that. I don't think it's meant to be strong. It's got good walk and talk, though. I mean, it's got decent, yeah, it's just softer spring, but it feels good. It's got nice clicks. They do a good job on those. You know, this quarter, half stop, and the open always sound good. And then that close feels a little better than the Ventus. The one thing I wanted to mention about this quarter stop, one of the reasons I think they do it, because I was talking about it being kind of like an EDC knife in Europe. Well, think about this. If you were using a traditional style slip joint, or whatever you want to call it, American style slip joint, and you were pushing on the spine. Now, this is a bad example because it's got such good walk and talk, stronger spring pull, I should say, that it's going to be hard to accidentally close on yourself. But let's say you did it, right? I don't even think I could do it with one hand, but now you're at the half position. If your hand was up here, right? If you were choking up and you accidentally close it on yourself, you might cut yourself. You might do some damage, right? Because that knife is coming down on you and hitting you at the half stop, especially with a spring like that, right? Now with these, if you did it, what would happen? You would hit that quarter stop, right? And it wouldn't cut you because that quarter stop keeps the angle of the blade upward and it doesn't come all the way to half. If I go to half stop, well, guess what? I would have got cut there, right? So that's an interesting thing, and I think that's why they do it. I'm not positive. It could also just be for manufacturing purposes. It's easier somehow, but I think it has something to do with them trying to protect people from it closing on themselves. It's like an extra little safety there. But yeah, it's comfortable in hand. It's got kind of Ivan's patented sort of like screw in the middle kind of technique. I really like how he does that. The clip is excellent. This one is reversible. I'm sorry. I think I said it wasn't. There's a little notch right here. You can flip this clip over. This one is not reversible. So my bad. This one is, which is great. And yeah, I mean, it's got a great size. It's super comfortable. It's just, yeah, it's a slip joint. So for the people out there that, you know, are worried about it closing on themselves, I get it. But I think for Europe and for people who love slip joints, this is a cool knife. And, you know, $70, it's not going to break the bank. I love the harpoon on here. I love the nail nick on here. I just think it's a sexy blade shape. I mean, look at that. I think it's a gorgeous blade shape. Gorgeous overall design. That handle shape, really good in the hand. I'd love to see Ivan do a mini Serenity. If he could do a mini one, maybe slightly thinner, shorter, obviously, more like 3 inches or sub 3 inches, I think that would be amazing. I would love that one for sure. Let's see how Real Steel does with the positions. Now, the spring is flush here. It is not here, but I have a feeling that that's normal with it being a quarter stop. And I think that's why in the US or whatever, traditionally you see that half stop position maybe because you can get it to line up better. I don't know, but you can see here it's still not flush. And then when it's closed, it might be ever so slightly raised up, not flush. Here we are pretty much flush. Oh yeah, look at that. We're pretty much flush and we are flush. So this one's flush in all 3 positions. So I think this one maybe being a budget knife or something, they didn't take too much care with making sure it was flush in all 3. But yeah, I really like the Serenity. I think it's cool. So there you go. A couple of Real Steels. Shout out to Real Steel Knives. Thank you for sending these my way. If you guys want to pick these up, there's links down below. It does help the channel. And I do have that discount code LeftyEDC if you want $15 off these 2. Let me know if you have any questions. I love you guys. Sorry about my voice. It's just, I don't know, allergies or something. But I hope you guys have a great day, and I will catch you later.